Hey guys, it's Leah Buckles from Procedural Wide Medical Consulting. I am a U.S. Army veteran, physician assistant, and former CMP examiner. I wanted to come on today and discuss something that I get a lot of questions about related to presumptive conditions related to service. So what is a presumptive condition? So a presumptive condition is if you develop an illness or an injury related to your service that the VA has outlined specific timetables and locations that if you served in these times or these locations and you develop a specific illness that they have researched and found to be very likely caused by a situation, they have already laid it out in their regulations that you can be service connected for this. One of the big ones that people know a lot about is Agent Orange and VA disability. So if a veteran was exposed to Agent Orange and they develop a condition, for example, diabetes, it's on the list of conditions that they already have decided they're going to grant service connection to, okay? There are several other types of presumptive lists that the VA has, not just Agent Orange. And the one I wanted to discuss today were disabilities that manifest within 1 year of separation from service, okay? So I get a lot of questions about this one because veterans sometimes mistakenly believe that any condition that they get, if it was diagnosed within a year, will automatically be service connected. Now, let me tell you that I'm not a accredited claims agent. I am not a VSO. I am not an attorney, right? This is not medical advice, none of those things, right? So I'm just trying to point you guys towards some helpful resources that will help educate you so that you can, smartly speak with your VSO or maybe your treating doctor to figure out, or the VA for your claims process or whatever. So none of this is medical or legal advice. I'm just trying to give you guys some specific stuff to look up, right? So presumptive conditions within 1 year. A big example of this would be someone telling me, hey, I got diagnosed with sleep apnea 8 months after I separated, and it's automatic. It should be automatic, right? So I say, well, technically it's not on the list, right? Again, this is not claims advisement, but the VA does have a specific list of things that if they manifest to a compensable degree within the first year of separation, that they will consider presumptively related to your service, okay? So I just want to show you guys where that list is so that you can kind of go and take a look for yourself, review it, and maybe have that dialogue about your personal situation with whoever's helping you with the claims process, right? So I hate to tell people to Google stuff, but if you go online and you Google VA presumptive conditions within 1 year, okay, I've got it pulled up here on my screen, so let me flip it around here for y'all. Okay, so I would go to the one that's like on va.gov, right? So I put presumptive within 1 year, and then I click on disabilities within 1 year, blah, 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 right there. Hang on. Okay. So it's going to load, and it shows you disabilities that appear within 1 year after discharge, okay? And it tells you you may be eligible for benefits if you have signs of an illness, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It started within 1 year after discharge from active military service. Now, it also says that it has to be at least 10% disabling, right, within that first year of discharge. It talks about the 38 Code of Federal Regulation, which is kind of like the VA Bible that kind of lays out all of the rules and regulations. And it says you can look at the complete list of covered illnesses, right? So I go ahead and click on that so we can look at that complete list of covered illnesses. Now it pops up over here, okay? And it shows you a list, alphabetical list of conditions where we've got, anemia, we've got arthritis, diabetes down here. That's a big one if it's diagnosed within 1 year of separation, right? Raynaud's disease. The list goes on and on. I mean, it's not a super long list, right? Peptic ulcers, right? So it talks about just all these different types of conditions, right? So you might want to come and peruse this on your spare time. But I want to talk about why some of these make sense in my brain, why they are on, okay? So let's talk about arthritis, right? Generally speaking, if you get out of the service and you have an x-ray done, 6 or 8 months after service and you have all this arthritis in your back or in your knees, but you were never seen for your back or knees in service, right? Because you sucked it up, your infantry, your 11 Bravo, your artillery, or whatever, your Cav Scout, you decide, you're getting picked on by your team leader or your first sergeant or whoever. Hey, I hear that all the time. I get it. When I was enlisted at one point a long time ago before I became a PA in the Army. I was a medic. I was in the 82nd. I remember as a private, I love my first sergeant. To this day, I loved him. I think he's a fantastic man. But, and I don't want to say he ever discouraged us, but it was like a sign of toughness. Like, hey, you can get out here and do PT. You can get out here and do all that. He was encouraging, right? And so some may have taken that as like, hey, I'm going to be, ragged on by my battle buddies or whoever. And they don't go and get seen for these things, okay? So I get it. It's very common. So at any rate, I know I got off topic. If you've got arthritis and it's evident in your x-rays 6 months after separation or a year after separation, arthritis doesn't turn up in like a month, right? So it makes sense medically speaking that would be one of those presumptive conditions, right? Because, if it's showing up within that first year of you leaving, it probably has been there for a little bit of time, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? So, there are specific conditions on here. There's another one, there are a few that are outerlying past year, but I don't want to discuss those today because the purpose of today was to show you guys where to find that list, to let you know that not every single condition, if you get diagnosed with plantar fasciitis 9 months after service, that doesn't mean you shouldn't file for it if you believe it's related to your service. Talk with your VSO or whatever, but I'm just specifically telling you what's on this list, okay? I hope this was helpful to you guys. Again, there's some other presumptive Gulf War, Agent Orange, prisoners of war. There's other presumptive conditions. And if you scoot on over to va.gov, you can kind of look at some of those things. There's other things that are not necessarily presumptive, but we see, a lot of veterans get connected for different types of exposures, jet fuel exposures, noise exposure, tinnitus. There's a VA fast sheet that talks about that. We'll do another video on that soon. I hope that the disabilities that appear within 1 year post-service video that I made today was helpful to you. If you guys have any questions or you want to hear any other videos or see any other topics, I'm happy to take some feedback, drop it in the comments. Also, please check out our blog on my Facebook or on our website on Prestige Worldwide, mctx.com. We put out a lot of good content there. These videos get reposted, and I have some blogs that will talk about some of our stuff, and our Facebook page also is pretty busy and happening. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.